got a review for the Mazda CX-30 all-wheel drive Sky Active G. It's a couple months old. It's a 2023. It's got 2,000 miles on it. Start in the back. Pretty good space. Mazda CX-30, so it's in between the, I think, the 3 and the 5. So it's like a Mazda 3 with a little more room. Basically the same. This is the Carbon Edition. Carbon Edition has black rims, red leather interior, which is really kind of cool. Red, different than black. Every car seems to have black interior, sometimes gray. Rims are pretty nice. Front end, decent, nice. Headlights on this car are super bright. It basically is a Mazda 3, but made into a small SUV, basically. Okay, the interior. For anybody that drives Mazdas, likes Mazdas, my last couple vehicles, other than my work truck, have been Mazdas. The thing about Mazdas is the interior. It's just my opinion here, but for me, the interior is what is better. This is, once again, my opinion. It's better than the Toyotas or the Hondas. I like the interiors in the Mazdas better. Mazda, Toyota, Honda, I would say are all a toss-up for how good of a car they are. But inside, I personally like the Mazda better. The handling, the way you sit in the seat. And here's your controls. One thing about Mazda, everything is super simple. Sometimes your vehicles today are a bunch of complicated stuff you don't need. And it's aggravating. There's fancy stuff on here, but start it so you can see the screen. This vehicle has 2,053 miles on it, so we've had it for a couple of months. We've drove it enough to where it has one thing about this car. It does have, some people will find it annoying, or maybe not really annoying, but takes some getting used to, is all of your safety features. All your safety features, when there's a car anywhere around you, there's lights flashing and noises telling you, alerting you. It can be annoying in the beginning. Some of the stuff will be turned off with this button right here. You know, your cruise control, something that's most of your newer cars are going to this. Your cruise control, it's got little bars here. I can't exactly show you because I'm not driving down the interstate. But when you set your cruise control, these little bars will separate you from the car in front of you. You can adjust this. It'll show you that much, but I mean, you can't really set it. These little bars, if you set that all the way up, that will keep you a long ways away from the car in front of you. It will slow you down without you have to touch the brake. One thing about old cruise control and old cars, you're constantly hitting the brake because there's a car in front of you, and then you got to reset it. With this car, it's actually kind of cool. You can set that to where I usually drive with it, so where I can get pretty close to the car in front of me, but it will slow you down a little bit so you don't hit that car, and then you can just signal, check, get in the other lane, go around. Once you get into the other lane and it no longer has the car in front of you, it will speed you back up to where your cruise control was, all without ever touching the brake. That is nice. A lot of your new cars are getting that, but for anybody that hasn't had that yet, that is actually pretty nice. So up here you got your entertainment center. I'm not kind of new to this. There's a button right here that you push. You have to hold it down for a second and it pops up and it has all your stuff here. Like I just had the oil change for the first time, which I got it changed pretty early. It's only got 2,000 some miles on it, but it's the first oil change. I like to get it done, get it over with. You know, the car's getting broken. I just had to change that in the settings today. So there's a lot of stuff on it. Basically every car has these now. Anything that's, you know, a new car is going to have this stuff. It's just all a little different. This was pretty simple. You just got a big knob here you turn. It's really pretty simple. But it's what every vehicle has now. As far as your cup holders are here, the only thing I can say after owning this vehicle a couple months, the cup holders, if you like to get big fountain drinks from a gas station or big ones from a fast food, they can be kind of tight. They fit, but they kind of hit up here if they're real big ones. I mean, it's something you'll get used to after a couple times. You'll be like, oh, okay, get a different size drink, you know. But that's just the huge ones that do it. But your glove box, I mean, it's a glove box. It's pretty good size. I would say that probably the two things about this car that are really cool are the safety features. If you like that stuff, it's got lane assist where if you get close to the edge of the road, it kind of pushes you back over and But once again, you can turn most of that stuff off with a button if you don't like it. One thing about this car I'm still not real sure if I like it or not is this right here. You pull this, our old Mazda, when you pulled this lever, there's a lever right here. When you pulled this, it popped up. It would adjust, but it was also popped. This takes a little getting used to. You have to slide it back to lift it up. Not that I'm saying that's a bad thing. I mean, I'm just saying it's a little different. If you leave that like that, to me, this looks weird right here. To me, that is odd. Why would you want that in that position? That is a weird position to me. That's about the only thing I can really say in the interior on this. I love the interiors of Mazda. That is a little weird. To me, you know, it should be like that and it should just pop up. But I guess different size people, you know, you adjust your seat. Maybe they need their armrest back here. I don't know. Maybe that's what they're thinking. It's not terrible. It just takes some getting used to. It's a little different. It's kind of got a couple awkward positions. But once again, it will open right here. But it's really hard to keep it in that position. And then it slides back and it'll open here. When it's all the way up, it won't open. It's like locked. But there's a lot of room in there though. There's a little divider here, you know, and you're like most of your new vehicles, it's got your, you know, USB hookups and, you know. So I guess maybe, you know, they're also thinking you might want that access for like your phone, charging it, you know, and to be able to, that could be. Anyway, it's pretty nice. I mean, like I say, the red interior on the Carbon Edition, if you're looking at a CX-30, the price isn't that much different, and the red interior really makes it stand out. You know, you don't see it too often. Yes, there's a lot of cars out there that have them, but it makes it a little different than every other Mazda you see. The black rims are nice. I mean, a lot of cars are going to that now, though. I mean, the seats are really, they're comfortable. It takes a little getting used to the way they operate. They're a little stiff, but they're brand new. I mean, sometimes that's just a new thing. They kind of feel a little awkward. That could be me too, just getting used to the buttons. I mean, it is what it is. I think if you go with Carbon Edition, I think they all have a moonroof, sunroof, whatever you call them. I'm not sure about that, but I think the Carbon Edition all has them. I'm good either way. I can live with it or without it, but it's nice. It's a nice feature. Your lights up here, one thing I will say about this car that is really cool, I think most of your new cars are kind of getting towards this, your interior light. You know, an old car, your interior lights, you know, you're holding stuff up here to see it. You're trying to look at stuff. You can't really see it with the light. This thing, in the middle of the night, on a dark night, if you come in and you push that button, which light puts on all your interior lights, these are LED lights, and they light it up. You could sit here, you know, it is like, it's like the light is all over. It lights up the whole interior of the car. That is a nice thing to have, especially with kids. If you have kids, that really helps to be able to see, you know, you're constantly getting something for, you know, or the kids are getting something. It really helps. They are super bright. The headlights are super bright also. The only thing is I've had a lot of people thinking that I have my high beam lights on. I don't know if they'll dim down over the months. I don't really know if that happens with LEDs. I'm not really a, you know, light expert, but they are super bright. It's great for driving, but you will get people sometimes thinking you got your high beams on because they are bright, real bright. Okay. All right, now I am in the back seat behind the driver. I left the driver's seat, okay, so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about here. I am 6'1", so people out there can relate probably. A lot of guys are about my height. I left this seat where I would leave it when I drive the car, so it's back a long ways, and I'm 6'1". I can get in the back, I can sit here, I could go on a drive. I would not want to be back here on a long drive all day. I wouldn't want to do it, but I can ride. It's not terrible. So, you know, just keep that in mind. Now, I will scoot over to this side and show you. This is where someone that's been sitting is 5'3", so they're shorter. I could actually sit here and go on a long drive, and you know, it's not that bad. So this person being shorter, so I'm just trying to show you how much room there is. If you got a driver that's like I am 6'1" or taller, you know, you need to make sure you got plenty of room before you go, you know, spending $35,000 on a car. So I'm just trying to show you. Maybe that'll help somebody out. If it helps one person out, great, you know, because you never know until you buy a car how comfortable it really is. That's the amount of room you have. The back seats are super comfortable as long as you got leg room. These back seats are really comfortable. They're laid back. They're not so straight up like a lot of your cars are. I guess it's, you know, it's because the way the back area is sloped. I guess it allowed them to lean them back a little more, and they are super comfortable. As long as you have enough leg room, it is a super comfortable back seat all the way across. It really is. When you sit in the middle, it's kind of hard for me to do. Like I say, I'm getting shown the difference. But when you sit in the middle, you know, you have this that folds down. So like most of your cars now, it's a little hard to sit there, you know. So I mean, but there is three. I mean, it looks really nice, and it is comfortable for 3 kids or 2 adults, as long as you're not huge, or as long as your drivers aren't 6'5". You can ride back here. There is room. Yeah, it's like I say, it's basically a Mazda 3, a little bigger, more room. One thing I've noticed with this car, there's a lot of safety features, lots of safety features. So if you have a family and you're looking for a car that you feel like, wow, this is a lot of safety, this car is, they went all out with safety. There's little things you don't even think about. The way the doors, I can't really show you exactly how they work. I'm not real comfortable with it yet, but these doors have a lot of child things on them where you can't accidentally, you know, your kid in there, stuff like that. The seats fold down. Not real sure how you do it. These, you know, for your child safety seats. You got some little tie downs here, so if you're carrying any cargo, you know, you can put your stuff here, and then put a strap to hold it, stuff like that. I mean, it's not a truck, but you can haul some stuff, you know. Here's your, I mean, every car is basically the same down here. You got a spare tire, but you know, you just letting you see, you know, if you needed to haul something a little bigger, you could always take that, you know, take your tire out, take this out, put your seats down. I mean, there is quite a bit of room there to haul stuff, you know. All right, now to put these seats down, I kind of forgot how you did it a little bit ago. Here's to put the seats down. Just push a button. Right now I got the driver's seat a little. So there you can see, I will show you how much room you actually got. This is something you know, you don't, just trying to help somebody out if somebody's looking to buy a car, so you can see how much room there actually is if you were to get one of these cars. This feel kind of silly, but you know, I'm 6'1", so if I was to lay down in here with a pillow, I would need a pillow, but it's really not that bad. You know, 2 people or the kids, you know, if you go somewhere, picnic, you go somewhere for the day, put the seats down, you know, kids can play or whatever. There is room. You know, if you're go to buy a new TV, go buy stuff, you know, there is room in there. There's quite a bit of room when you have those seats down. There really is. I mean, with the one seat up, you know, you got quite a bit. I'd say I'm 6 foot tall, so it's almost 6 foot. You know, to close it, you know, I mean, like if you were to haul stuff, you would need to close that. So, you know, you still have probably 5 foot. So, in conclusion, Mazda CX-30, all-wheel drive, Skyactiv G. They're pretty. I think all the Mazdas have this now, and maybe the small car. Don't like the Miata, but like I said, the all-wheel drive Skyactiv G. You know, you're basically 2-wheel drive until your wheels start spinning, whether it's wet, whether it's snow, mud, whatever. You start spinning tires, the other wheels will start pulling, so then it becomes control drive. Okay, so my experience with this car is it's a really nice car. There's plenty of room for, you know, family of 4, family of 5. You're gonna need something bigger. You know, family of 4, you know, is about right. You know, if you got family of 5 and a dog, you better get something a little bigger. You better step up a little bit bigger. But family of 4 is perfect. You know, I like the carbon edition, the leather, red leather interior. You know, I like the black rims on it. I can't really say, as far as the safety features go, what people are going to like, what they're not going to like. I personally like them when I'm driving on the interstate. Other places are kind of annoying, but it is a safe car. It's probably one of the safest cars on the market, honestly. It's got a 2.5 engine. Now, this is not the turbo. I can tell you I've drove a turbo and it is quite a bit snappier. So if you're someone who really wants to experience, you know, driving the parking lots around the corner and snap, go with the turbo. You're going to pay a few more $1,000, but it's really cool. We don't really need it. It's a family car. All I can say. Thanks for watching. Hope I wasn't, too corny or anything. CX-30, buy one.